What's up, Spider fans? This is Logan Moore here from DualShockers.com, and today we're going to take a little bit of a deeper look at the new Spider-Man trailer that recently released at San Diego Comic-Con. I am kind of our Spider-Man expert around these parts, so I figured we would do a little bit of a deeper dive into the trailer and see if there's anything that stands out and maybe gives us a couple hints about where the story may be going. And there's a couple things early on in this trailer that really stand out to me so far, starting right here in the first opening sequence with Norman Osborn, who we have seen already. We're going to pause here for a moment. We've seen Norman in the game already. We knew he was in it. But off of the bat here, it seems obvious. Clearly Norman knows who Peter is in this game. Norman clearly knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. I don't know if that is something that has been divulged earlier in the timeline, because as we know about Insomniac's Spider-Man game here, Spider-Man has been Spider-Man for about 7 years at this point, I think they have said. So I'm not sure if this is a new revelation for Peter realizing that Norman knows who he is or not, but it's an interesting first little nugget that we learn here early on in the trailer. And it's something that I think kind of shapes the rest of this trailer. So moving forward, we see Mary Jane here, along with Miles Morales, who, again, are two other characters we knew were in this game. But the interesting thing here with Miles is that he is working directly with Spider-Man, which is something I didn't know would happen in this game. Obviously, we knew Miles knows who Peter is, and we have found that out in previous trailers for the game. But now we know that Miles will be working alongside Peter. And the big question I think we have with Miles is, will he be getting powers of his own at some point? It definitely seems like he will, and I will touch on why I think that'll happen here in a little bit. But now let's stop here. Let's take a look at Silver Sable, who is obviously revealed for the first time in this trailer. Silver Sable, as if you do not know who she is a mercenary for hire from the Marvel Comics. She's typically a good guy. She's somebody who works with Spider-Man occasionally, but her being a mercenary and all means she is kind of hired to work for whoever is willing to pay her. And in this case, it seems like that person is Norman Osborn. So you look like you are going to be on the outs with the Silver Sable in this game, which is pretty normal in the Spider-Man world. It seems like Silver Sable and Spider-Man have had many run-ins in the comics and in other media in the past, so seeing them two kind of clash in this game really isn't anything new. Her design's a lot different, though. Normally Silver Sable has some long flowing white hair in the comics. She's got a little bit of a shorter haircut going on here, but the rest of her outfit looks pretty similar with her tactical suit she's got on there. It's a cool character design. Now let's pause here for a second, a couple seconds later here, because we are seeing in what is supposed to be the Oscorp building, we have got more spiders. So spiders like the ones that bit Peter. It seems like Oscorp is again working on the genome project that gave Peter his powers. For reasons I'm not really certain why. However, this does tie back into what I said about Miles. Up until this point, we haven't really known if Miles is going to get his powers in this game. But I would say that the fact that Oscorp is working on spiders again definitely means that one of those will end up biting Miles over the course of the game at some point, and he will likely get a set of his own powers. For those who aren't really familiar with Miles' backstory in the comics, this is actually exactly how he gets his powers. The fact that we are seeing these spiders here again at Oscorp definitely makes me think, yeah, Miles is getting bit in this game for sure. And will be swinging around through the city sooner than you think. We see a quick snippet here of Mary Jane. She's the one in that lab. We also see her kind of sleuthing around. We've already got confirmation that she will be a playable character in this game as well, so that's pretty interesting. We've got Mr. Negative here again. As we see here, there's a bunch of quick action sequences that are really awesome in this trailer. We see some of the sequences from the E3 trailer that we saw last month. We see Spider-Man jump off this wall and then kick Wilson Fisk right there. Moving forward here, we see Silver Sable fighting Spider-Man again. We see this cool sequence here with Mary Jane jumping off a building. Hopefully Spider-Man will catch her. You would have to assume so, otherwise it's going to be a very untimely death for Mary Jane. And then a cool explosion, Spider-Man whipping around there. Another sequence with Electro and Vulture that we saw last month. Continuing on, we see Mr. Negative, Electro, Rhino, whole slew of baddies that we've got. And that's Marvel Spider-Man. That's about it for this trailer. This is, I think, this is a good trailer to get people excited, myself excited. I think everybody's excited for Marvel Spider-Man. This is a good final story trailer to get everybody on board. We're about 5 or 6 weeks away from release at this point. This is a good final video for them to throw out until we get into the real marketing push for the game and really start gearing up towards launch. Be sure to stay tuned over the coming weeks, as I'm sure we will have a lot more preview coverage for Spider-Man and stuff like that leading up to release over at DualShockers.com. And I know I, for one, want to continue talking about this game as much as humanly possible until that time, too. So be sure to subscribe and all that stuff. If you like the video, leave us a like. And let me know your thoughts down at the bottom about some of the things I was talking about here as well. And if you think I am going in the right direction with my ideas for what they are probably doing with the story here. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. We'll chat soon.